Morning Exercises, October 28th. If any man love God, the same is known of him. 1 Corinthians 8:3. There is nothing so mortifying to men as inattention and neglect. Many would rather be hated than neglected. The one implies that they are deemed something. The other shows that they are considered as beneath notice. Hence we are anxious to be known of our fellow creatures, especially of those who are placed above us and can take us by the hand and raise us up and put us forward in life. Yet, as men of low degree are vanity, so men of high degree are a lie. After all our servile attentions and compliances, we are never sure of gaining their regard, and if gained, what could even their zeal do for us in our most important interests? Let us turn our anxiety another way. Let us sanctify it. Let us make it the medium of our happiness. Let us be concerned to please God. Then we shall be sure to succeed, and success will be everything, for in His favor is life. If any man love God, the same is known of him. This knowledge being spoken of as the highest privilege, it must intend much more than a mere acquaintance with the subjects of it, for thus all are known of him. The least thing intended is discernment. The Lord knows their condition, knows all their walking through this great wilderness, knows all their trials, knows the pressure of every burden they bear, knows their frame, and remembers that they are dust. He perceives all their dangers. Their enemies may plot against them, but they do it in the sight of their Father and Friend. As to their persons, the Lord knoweth them that are His. He never overlooks them in a crowd. If there was only one of them in a village or city or nation, He would have His eye upon him. However misrepresented and reproached, He recognizes them as upright before Him. However obscure their condition, He views them as the excellent of the earth. However little their faith, He watches the tears with which they cry, Lord, I believe, help Thou mine unbelief. However encompassed with infirmities, which sometimes perplex others, He who knows what is the mind of the Spirit knows that they love Him. We can only judge of motives by actions, but God judges of actions by motives. He seeth the heart, in consequence of which, in estimating the services of His people, He admits into the amount not only all they do, but all they design to do, and wish to do when they are hindered, and accepts them according to what they have, and not according to what they have not. Even this is a source of satisfaction to the Christian. But this knowledge also takes in approbation. The Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, so He does the way of the ungodly. But the meaning is, He approves it, He commends it. The Lord taketh pleasure in them that fear Him, in them that hope in His mercy. He regards them with complacency as the work of his own hands. He esteems them as his jewels, his bride, his offspring. Their prayer is his delight, their alms the odor of a sweet smell. Approbation must be valued according to the condition and character of the being from whom it comes. It would be a reproach to pass for the favorite of Satan. The first Christians would also have deemed the friendship of the world no recommendation, for they were satisfied to say, "The world knoweth us not, because it knew him not." A great personage reflects a luster upon those that are near him. A person would be ambitious to be seen intimate with the king, and to live in the affections of the wise and good, says a fine writer, is like walking in an eastern spice grove. What a dignity is it, then, to walk with God! What a blessedness to hear him say, "Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee." And what shall be done for the man whom the King of kings delighteth to honor? For this knowledge is acknowledgment. The Apostle, admonishing the Thessalonians, says, "Know them that labor among you and are over you in the Lord." That is, own them with respect, and verbally and practically treat them as their office requires. Thus God claims his people. He owns them in the dispensations of his providence and in the agency of his grace. He signalizes them in life. He does it often more peculiarly in death, so that his saints are joyful in glory and shout aloud upon their beds, and induce their very enemies to exclaim, "Let me die the death of the righteous, and let my last end be like his." But above all they shall be mine, saith the Lord, in that day when I make up my jewels. He will confess them before the assembled earth and heavens, and place them nearer the throne than angels. Of what importance, then, is the love of God? And how carefully should we inquire whether it be shed abroad in our hearts? Nothing can be a substitute for this affection. Without it, our knowledge, our gifts, our faith itself are vain. If we have anything like devotion, it is formality. If we have peace, it is delusion. If we have safety, it is a refuge of lies. And though we may go to the very door of heaven and knock and say, "Lord, Lord, open unto us," he will profess, "I never knew you. Depart."